This is the terrifying story of a cabin that's cursed. Travelers beware. Welcome back. I'm here. Today we're going to look at the horrifying mystery of a cabin in the woods. Some places should never be explored. From the tallest mountains to the deepest oceans, there are some things man was never meant to see. Today we will travel to a remote area of West Virginia to hear the terrifying tale of a cabin that has claimed many victims. Do you dare venture inside? Let me know in the comments. But be careful what you wish for, because it may just come true. As always, this is only my opinion, and some of these opinions are going to be unpopular. I don't think this topic needs an introduction. The mere mention of a creepy cabin in the woods is enough to get your heart racing. It's a classic horror trope that never gets old. Just the idea of a secluded cabin in the middle of nowhere sends shivers down my spine. So when I tell you about this one specific cabin, you better believe me when I say that this place is seriously unsettling. It all started with some hikers who decided to take a trip into the woods. They probably had no idea what they were getting themselves into. You see, hiking can be a great way to enjoy nature and get some exercise, but it can also be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. And as the saying goes, if you go into the woods expecting to find Bigfoot, you won't be disappointed. That's exactly what happened to these poor hikers. They stumbled upon a small cabin hidden deep within the forest. Maybe they were looking for shelter from the harsh weather, or maybe they just wanted to take a break from their long hike. Whatever the reason, they never should have opened that door. Inside the cabin, they found a musty old book lying on a table. Curiosity got the better of them and they decided to open it. Big mistake. The book turned out to be a journal kept by a mysterious hermit who lived in the cabin. The journal contained disturbing entries detailing the hermit's dark thoughts and plans. To make matters worse, strange symbols were scrawled throughout the pages, symbols that seemed to hold some kind of dark power. The hikers felt an immediate sense of dread and fear wash over them. They knew they had stumbled upon something truly evil, but instead of running away, they made a fatal mistake. One of the hikers decided to read aloud from the book, and that's when all hell broke loose. As the words left his lips, the room temperature suddenly dropped and a strong wind began to blow through the cabin. The pages of the book started to move on their own, and before their eyes, the symbols glowed with an eerie green light. In their terror, the hikers fled the cabin and ran as fast as they could through the dark woods. Behind them, they heard the sound of chains dragging metal moans. They didn't dare look back. Now, I don't know about you, but I would have run away from that cabin faster than Usain Bolt. But these poor hikers didn't stand a chance. The hermit emerged from the shadows, his eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. He moved with unnatural speed, snatching them one by one and dragging them deeper into the forest. Their screams echoed through the trees, but no one came to their rescue. The hermit was too powerful. He was a servant of the darkness, and he had chosen these hikers as his next victims. The cabin stood silent once more, its dark secret buried deep within its walls. But the story doesn't end there. Others have dared to enter the cabin since then, and none have ever returned. What's hiding inside that place is beyond our understanding, and I'm glad I don't live anywhere near there. I honestly don't know why anyone would willingly approach a place like that, but people do it all the time. They say that curiosity killed the cat, but in this case, it seems like stupidity is the main culprit. People just can't resist the urge to explore abandoned places, even when they've been warned of the dangers that lie within. These curious adventures are often met with terrible consequences, like those poor hikers who read the forbidden book. They ignored the warnings and paid the ultimate price. For example, in 2013, a group of teenagers decided to check out an abandoned house in Cleveland. They had heard rumors of a ghost that haunted the place, and maybe they wanted to prove the ghosts were real, or maybe they just wanted to brag to their friends. Either way, they soon regretted their decision. As they entered the house, the temperature suddenly dropped and they could feel the presence of something dark watching them. Before they could escape, the ghosts appeared before them, a ghastly apparition that sent them running for their lives. They never went back, and they told everyone they met to stay away from that house. But not everyone listens, right? There's always someone who thinks they're braver than the rest. Well, they're wrong. In 2017, two friends decided to visit an abandoned hospital in Detroit. They were exploring the building and taking pictures when they heard a noise in the basement. They decided to investigate, and that's when they encountered the ghost of a young girl. She appeared before them, her eyes wide with fear and sadness, and then she vanished. The friends were shaken to their core and they vowed to never set foot in that hospital again. Yet despite these stories, people still can't resist the call of the unknown. They keep venturing into abandoned places, hoping to catch a glimpse of the supernatural, or maybe just to say they did it. But the truth is, some things are better left undisturbed. These tales remind me of a story I once heard about a hiker who stumbled upon a secluded cabin nestled amidst towering trees. The cabin seemed abandoned, but as he cautiously approached, he noticed faint sounds of movement coming from within. Unable to resist his curiosity, he knocked on the door, and a moment later, it creaked open, revealing a dimly lit interior. Hesitantly, he stepped inside and called out, "Hello, is anyone there?" Only silence answered him. As he explored further, he discovered unsettling signs of a recent presence: overturned chairs, a half-written journal lying on a table, and a fireplace with a few embers still glowing. Suddenly, a floorboard creaked above him, and he looked up to see the distinct impression of a foot just before everything went black. Now that's a scary story, isn't it? But it's important to remember that these are just stories. They're not real. Or are they? Who knows? Let's go back to that cabin in the woods. It's a tale that's been passed down through generations. No one knows for sure how long it's been around or where it came from. But one thing is certain. It's a story that serves as a warning to those who dare to enter the woods. The story goes that deep within an ancient forest. Shrouded in mist and legend, there stands an unassuming cabin. Its weathered walls and crooked roof tell tales of years gone by, but it's the secrets hidden within its dusty rooms that truly make it a place to fear. For it is said that the cabin is cursed, harboring a darkness that consumes all who enter. Those who have dared to approach the cabin have spoken of an oppressive atmosphere that seems to cling to the very air, a sense of dread and despair that seeps into their bones, chilling them to the core. As they step inside, the temperature drops dramatically, and a thick fog rolls in, swirling around their feet and obscuring their vision. But the horrors of the cabin don't end there, for it is said that the very walls are alive with pain and suffering. Grotesque figures etched into the wood, their contorted faces and outstretched hands reaching out as if in agony. These macabre carvings seem to writhe and twist before their eyes, their silent screams echoing through eternity. And then there are the voices, whispers that slither through the shadows, taunting and tormenting those who dare to listen. They speak of unspeakable acts committed within the cavernous confines, of souls trapped and tormented, their cries for help echoing through the halls. Some say they can hear the sound of chains dragging, the clink of shackles, the moans of the damned. As the night wears on, the darkness within the cabin grows, twisting and contorting into terrifying shapes. Faces peer out from the darkness, eyes gleaming with malevolent intent. Some are humanoid, others seem straight out of a nightmare, their jaws agape, revealing rows of sharp, jagged teeth. And then they appear, the shadows coalescing into solid forms, grotesque figures that emerge from the darkness to taunt and terrify their victims. They glide through the shadows, their movements swift and silent, their presence a palpable aura of dread. Some are emaciated, their bones protruding, their skin stretched taut over their body. Others are grotesquely fat, their flesh quivering as they shuffle closer. They say the cabin feeds on fear, growing stronger with each scream, reveling in the despair of its victims. As the night drags on, the darkness becomes a suffocating presence, pressing in from all sides. Hope begins to dwindle, replaced by an overwhelming sense of impending doom. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the nightmare ends. The whispers fade, the figures vanish, and the darkness recedes, leaving behind an eerie silence. The morning light filters through the cracks in the boarded-up windows, revealing the true horror of the cabin. The walls are covered in strange symbols and markings, some resembling arcane sigils, others too grotesque to comprehend. The floor is strewn with debris, furniture overturned, as if a struggle had taken place. But perhaps the most disturbing sight of all is the journal lying open on the table, its pages filled with maddening ramblings and blasphemous writings. Some say the cavern's curse is inescapable, that once you enter there's no escape. Others claim that the curse can be broken, that there is a way to banish the darkness that lurks within. But the truth remains elusive, hidden within the labyrinth of shadows and secrets. The cabin stands as a silent testament to the horrors that unfolded within its walls, a chilling reminder of the darkness that may lie dormant in the most unassuming places. Would you ever dare enter a haunted cabin like this? Let me know in the comments. Personally, I think it's best to leave such places alone. After all, some mysteries are best left unsolved. If you enjoyed this video, then check out one of my other videos. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.